Alright, what is up guys? This is Billyazprospector back with another coin video. I told you in my previous video visiting this newest coin shop that I wanted to take an opportunity to show you that these were coming out soon. I know we were going to do a short clip video, but these are a little bit more interesting than the send-off. This is going to be a what do they grade video pre-send-off, because the ones that you see here, the Carson City uncirculated, supposedly GSA found product is going to be sent off, so for authenticity. I want to take a minute, based off of ICG's website. They had talked about from 1972 to 1880, the GSA had sold, and GSA stands for General Services Administration, had sold a group of uncirculated Carson City Morgan dollars that were discovered in treasury vaults. And each coin was sealed in these special slabs like you see here, and just to say, yeah, they were uncirculated, they were found in bags and whatnot in the vaults, and you know, you can buy them as you see them here. It's a thin black and silver cardboard box held with a slab, and in each box you got was a number certificate, and many of the original boxes and cases were destroyed. And I think that I think we have the certificates papers on them. I don't think we have the boxes that they originally came in like they stated, but we do have the certificates supposedly, and they can still be found with a little bit of searching. But like I said, these ones, you know, I'm not quite sure. Now we want to talk about the an interesting show that happened in Orlando. And one of the senior graders from ICG was asked about authenticating some of these. And it was quickly identified, I guess, that quickly around the table that the gentleman, his name was Randy Campbell, and as he was looking at these to grade these coins, he noticed that there was something unique about them. I'm not sure about these ones in particular, but the coins that he was looking at, he noticed that the coins had been cleaned and had the color of a dollar minted, more so from, like, say, Philadelphia rather than Carson City. So supposedly, guys, there's a distinct difference between the coin itself and the silver, maybe the silver content or the silver coin itself, and a way to tell that they were different. So what they were able to find out was that the coins in these holders were actually a counterfeit that he was looking at, and they looked just like these ones, where you know, it had the Carson City stamp on the front here, and you've got the coin, you've got the backing here, this is the black that they're talking about, the black holder, and then maybe something within the lettering here. So I want to take a minute before we send these off, because I want to have you take a look at them and see what you think. Do you believe that these are a fake? Do you believe that these coins will come back certified? Now, a couple of the holders are cracked, like you'll see here in the corner of that one. If I can get it, there you go, right there. It's cracked right here. So this one we're going to ask NGC to take them out of the holder if they're authenticated, and then, you know, they'll simply put on their GSA hoard, and if it's a certified coin. So we'll go into some of the detail. This video might be a little bit longer, but we'll go into some of the detail on why we think these coins may not be authentic, and you know, obviously want to hear your input. So there's the 1884. Here we have the 1880, and this is also a Carson City coin. And we also have this one here, which is the 1878, and supposedly this one too is a Carson City. Now what you're not seeing is what's below here. So real quick, we'll jump down. I want to show you what we've got going on here that we will also be doing the send-off. Bam! Look at, we've got our supposedly the deep mirror proof coin that is better than a proof-like coin. We've got the highly reflective marks. We have this 1882 that is new, introduced. Again, we want to take a look at this one. This is an estimate mark. Is this authentic? Who knows? We'll take a look, but these ones we've shown you in a previous video. This one here, we've got this This is a 1915 $2.50 Indian gold. And then we've got this here. This is a $5. This is an 1885 $5 piece. Pretty cool. So I'm going to send that off. So let's get to it. Let's jump into some closer ups and see what you guys think. All right, here we go. We got the 1878. This one here is a 7/8 strong that we're going to be sending in. This one here does have a little bit of contact marking right around the bottom of the chin cheek area, but hopefully that doesn't take away too much of the coin because it has a nice reverse toned piece of the coin. I think if it does come back, I will be able to, get it sold pretty easily. So hopefully that's not going to be something that comes back clean. Overall, a real nice coin. Not a lot of contact marks out in the field. I think this particular one will come back pretty good. I'm going to hope that we're going to hit at least a MS63. That's what I want most of these coins in my collection to come back as. So we did a close-up video of this one particularly before, so I think that coin will actually come across pretty nice. So we'll go off of that and see what we get. Real quick, I will show you the reverse part of that coin. Again, this one is got a nice toning on it. That one will, look pretty good. I don't think that there's actually too much going on here in the field area when you're talking about contact marks, thinking that this is going to be something that's going to come back graded really any less than a 63. I'll be shocked if it's a 62. But there's a real close-up right there, guys. You can see it's the 7/8 tail feather strong, where you can actually really see those. So that's one that should come back pretty nice. Up next, we have the 1903, so that's this one here. I'm sorry, that's actually my proof one here. 1903, and this one is really nice too. The 1903 is one that I acquired at the same time. If you see my previous videos, I'm really hoping this one as well to come back at least an MS63. I don't know, compared to that other one, I'd be shocked if this one doesn't come back a little bit nicer. What do you guys think? It's really a nice, open fields. I would, really hope that this one might come back actually a little bit nicer, maybe a MS64. That would be good. Real quick, we'll jump this one over so you can see the reverse section of the coin. Similar thing with this one on the reverse. Really a nice clean. When I say clean, I'm not saying it's been clean. I'm just saying it's free of contact marks, free of any damage, anything like that. Really something that's satisfactory when you're wanting to look at a pretty nice coin. So I would imagine that this one would come back in a 60. Let's go 64 on that one. Let's see if I'm right about that. MS64. Up next is my 1890. Let's get him in there. There's the 1890. This particular one, 1890, this was a standard one again, I think is just as nice as the one that you just saw. So I'm going to say that this is going to be in a 64 as well. If I get that MS65, I'll be ecstatic. So I'm hoping this one, MS64 on this one as well. Really nice open fields. Pretty excited about this one too. So like I said, I was going for most of these to be in that MS63. So anytime that I can get above that, there's a little bit of toning up on the top, so that's pretty nice. Really excited to get that one back as well. So there's the 1890. Now we'll jump down to the 1878. This is the one that we are going to think that is going to get a deep proof like. It's their highest deepest grade that you can get in a Morgan. I'll be shocked if they just give it a standard proof like. Again, there's those detailed swirls that I've talked about that don't enter into the devices, so we think that that's going to be just a standard thing that you're going to see. Somebody's mentioned to me that you look at these coins and they get those little hairline markings, so we think that that one will come back pretty good as well. So not gonna, actually, you know what, since we did it on the other two, we'll go ahead and jump to the reverse section on both of those coins as well, so you guys can see the back of those before we send off, so you can give your approval on what you think. So here's the 1890, what I believe was going to be an MS64. Really a sharp coin. I don't know, maybe that one comes back as 65. I'm going to say 64, so I can be even more excited if it comes back as 65. This one here, gosh, I think we were saying a 63 on this one, just because it does have a lot of those little surface hairlines that does take away from the coin, but overall we still think is going to come back as a deep proof-like versus a proof-like. So that is that on the open Morgans. I did have that one in particular, though, that up next we have some concerns with, and let's jump into that one. Okay, here we are, 1882. Now, again, this is a 10 power. I want you to really take a hard look at that date. Does it look like that date has had something done to it? It's almost like it's been, in my words, altered. Around the one's fine, but it's the 8, and the 2 all have on the the upper areas kind of pointing downwards. I don't know what is going on there, but it made us think that there's something else going on right there, and around that 2. Also, look at the scratching that's kind of going on behind that coin. So I think that this one is pretty clean, so it's similar to what you would expect to see in maybe like a proof-like coin, if it was to grade like that. But we also think, though, that there's some other things going on with this. So let's take a real quick look around that coin, all the way around. Let's look at the E. The lettering is pretty strong. We're not seeing those blobs like we've seen on the fake coins that I've had in my previous videos. Look at the scratches going on between the B and the U and the S there, though. Why would that happen? Unless someone, now like we've learned too on a previous video that I had a coin come back from PCGS saying it was tooled. Is that tooled? What do you guys think? It's just interesting that there's those scratch lines kind of going back and forth just in that one particular section of that coin. Overall, though, those letters look pretty distinct. There's not much going on there. A little bit of scratch marks, and then there's some kind of right there. You can kind of see underneath the hair. But that 1882 right there, the date it's doing something weird. So that one's kind of concerning. Now, when we flip this over, it's got me even more concerned because of the mint mark itself. So let's jump right into the mint mark. Look at the S. The S is very blobby. It's really not defined like I've seen on my other S's of my Carson Cities. Matter of fact, I've got a couple right here. Let me see if I can find one that's got it. There we go. Right off the top. That's good. Now, this is an 1880, so let's just do a quick comparison between my 1880 that's in a 2x2. Look at that S. So that S is pretty distinct. It's not blobbed. Seems like it's pretty easy to take a look at that, and see that, yeah, that's an S. Jump back over to this one. That's kind of blob. Is that normal? I don't know. We'll see what the experts have to say about this. So there's some other stuff going around there, but I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting if this comes back stating that this coin is legit, of an 1882, and it's free of defect. I would say that this one's almost potentially, if it's not tooled or cleaned or altered, and they do certify it, I think this coin does almost come back almost like a proof-like, just because it's got that reflection kind of going on, but I don't know. So what do you guys say on that one? I think it's going to come back cleaned, just because of the front, And is it authentic? I guess sometimes those are some areas that can get hit, so I'm going to say that this is authentic, but it is going to come back with just some type of details from NGC. So these are all going NGC, by the way. Let's jump into those hoard coins real quick. Okay, so here is the first one we'll look at. This is the 1880. Now, I think I had put some notes around this, so give me just a second. I'll open those up, particularly around these, because I thought that out of all three of them, there were some different things. So this one being the 1880, we were going to pop this out mainly because of the damage around the coin itself. So this one's got a pretty big crack along the back. See if I can get that in the video here. You can actually see that just right on the back there, so you can kind of see it's been cracked open there. It's not open though, so it's just, you know, damaged is all. So got something going on really just right along, you know, all through here. It's just got, you can kind of see it right there, just cracked. So this has been dropped or something at some point. Now the coin itself, let's get real close here. Now this is just a wide angle, so I'm not gonna think that you can see anything from here. This coin from here looks like, yeah, okay, it's probably just an uncirculated coin. The reverse, again, there's the Carson City. Everything for the most part, maybe someone's already picking up on something thinking, yeah, I don't know about that, but let's take a quicker look. So again, I've got my 10 power, and we can shove that up. Sorry about the movement there. Let's take a quick look here. Let's get rather close. So everything from a date perspective looks okay. I think that some of the things they've talked about. So let's just talk about the holder itself. So see that dimpling around the cardboard piece that's in there? They've talked about the fake one being not dimply. So we've got some dimples there. We're good. They've also talked about the quality of this. So notice here that the fake ones in the past have been kind of splotchy, I guess. The wording is splotchy. You can kind of see some of that going on there. It's not just a solid chrome wording. You kind of got some, I guess, quality defectives kind of going on there, if you can kind of see that. They're not a nice solid word. What else did I see that made me question this coin? Let's go to the word, you know, the words. Those all look okay. What concerned me the most? The back of this coin. The face somewhat seems okay. Mostly the back. So let's hop back to the Carson City portion of this. Carson City does appear to look all right. But once we started getting into some of these words, it's almost like the back of the coin. And I'm going to try to get this steady here so you can really hopefully get on this. So let me lower this down. Okay, so here's the coin, and around the words, look at all around the words here. This really has me worried. Look at that. Is there something wrong? Looks like that does not look legit. So it's like the back of the coin is something completely different. Also around that ribbon where it's tied, does it appear that there's like a lot of stuff going on right in on the side, in the middle, and on the edge. I've never seen that have that type of texture. So it's almost like the back of the coin's like literally just laid on the back of something else with all these dimples, if you will. Look at that. Look at that star. Looks like something's going on with that star. Once again, the letters. Look how bad those letters are. Horrible. So we're thinking this coin is in fact a fake. Just not clean at all. And I'm gonna get another coin to show you what I'm talking about, because I want you to see this right here. So let's just talk about this. The last part of states of and in God we trust here. Okay, let's just talk about that. So if I overlay this other coin a little bit sharper, compared to that. Make sure, see if I can get that to focus a little bit better. Boom, trust, trust. Something going on there. And you don't see those blobs around the stars. Look how distinct that star is. And if you look at this star, look at that. There's something definitely going on there. So interesting enough. So real quick, let's just jump back over and we back out here and we'll show you what I mean about this. So let's just talk about this for just a moment, okay? So these coins. So something I really want you guys to focus in on, some of the words that they've talked about here. So reverting back once again to the ICG things to consider. So starting with the coin on the quality from a scale of 1 to 10. Identifying some of the details around that coin. You can clearly see the coin had a lot of fuzziness around the words. We've learned that from previous videos, guys. They've got to be nicely stamped, distinct, clearly identified. No porous piece, you know, bubbles or like holes, like popping holes as the coin had cured, as it was stamped or poured. You don't want to see stuff like that. So most of the Chinese counterfeit dollars that have gone through its authentication, it's kind of crude. So around the date, the digits of the date, so the numerical dates, they're really crude. Same thing with the Carson City. There's going to have, if you're going to compare the Carson City versus other ones, sometimes there's just a little bit where the C's not opened up. It's really close together. You're going to see some stuff like that. Again, the cardboard, right around this area in here, all that black cardboard. Now this cardboard actually looks pretty good. So if this is in fact, which we think it is, a fake, then that cardboard usually is just going to be like a paper. It's not going to have all those dimples in there. So that's another thing to keep an eye out for, what we learned. Another thing to consider too is what they've talked about is right up in this area. So you'd actually see a line going up and over on some of the real ones, the slabs. Now this one in particular though, the genuine GSA holder, this does look like it's a genuine holder. There's no like other things going on up in those other areas. So even if I flip this one over here, that looks pretty good. Now obviously we talked about the portion of this being cracked right here. Not entirely sure. Let's just say they were able to open this up by cracking that and it made it look like it was dropped, and then somehow were able to get that coin and maybe swap the coin out at some time. I have no idea. And then also talking about some of the lettering that's up in this area. So these ones look pretty good. I've seen examples of other ones looking really bad where you've got, because of what it was printed on, didn't necessarily look that good, that clean. So that's just something else to consider. But I think the coin itself is something to be considered, and we do dub and think that this coin is a fake. So let's jump on to the next two. Okay, here's the 1884. Now this one looks a little bit better. It's a little bit more distinct. It's got a little bit of cheek mark stuff going on there. The letters of this one actually look a little bit better here. Let's zoom in just a little bit more there. So now we're actually a little bit above a 10 power, but I can't remember what that behind the E and the P, it's almost like something to do with when the stamping occurred. So the face of this one, again, I don't know that I have a problem with the faces, guys. The faces look legit, but it's almost like they did something with the backs. Now there's the date again, so keep an eye on the date, because we talked about that just a minute ago in the previous coin, that the dates are a little bit crude. So I would agree that this one here, especially around that 1, are a little bit crude, especially that second 8 or the first 8 that we see. It's got that little bit of a blobbing in the first top circle there. You see what I'm talking about? Let's jump in here right. Let's see, right there. There's a little bit of blobbing right up there. So that's kind of weird too. The back, let's first jump into the Carson City. The CC marks. That's where they said to focus on. So right in those CCs. I don't know. It's looking a little suspect, isn't it? It's a little bit too close for comfort on the connection of those. And that's what they talk about. They talk about those CCs being a little bit too close coming together on those contacts. And they're not as wide as they probably should be. And then look at the wreath again. Look at all those like little dimples, and that's what we've seen in the fake coins of the past that I put on the videos, that there's some, you know, just some weird potting like going on. It's almost like as if you poured, if you've ever done anything with like pouring precious metals or even non-precious metals, and they get like these little popping, cooling things going on. And that's what that appears to be. So it's really strange. Lettering of that looks okay. Star looks good. Those words look pretty good. So it's almost like they altered it. So this one's got me a little bit because look at the wording. The wording's actually looks pretty good. It's clean around there, but it's almost like they did something. As soon as the wreath, from the wreath on down, star even looks good. Dollar looks good. But bam, as soon as we hit that wreath and the mint mark, it looks like something funky is going on. So as much as I wanted this one to be good, I'm thinking that this one's a fake too. So let's let the experts tell us, what do you guys think? And then lastly, let's jump into the very last one. This is the 1878, and that date looks pretty good. I don't see anything going on with that date, so that date looks good. Let's do the full circle. Just notice that almost looks like a hair or something in there, which is odd. It's kind of gross. Anyways, that doesn't look too good. Let's back out just a tad. Back to our 10 power here. Mostly concerned. Now the date looks good on this 1878. The 1878 does have a little bit of cracking, and let's check out the back of this one. Again, I think we have, let me see here. Yeah, there's that pitting again, that stuff going on. You don't see that in the other coins. So let's throw this other one right over it. Hey, maybe you do just a little bit, don't you? But it just seems like there's a little bit more going on inside of that. I don't know, just weird. So maybe it's not perfect inside of there, but this one, I don't know. Man, it's tough when you really think that you have something that's fake. It's really hard to tell. Those letters just don't look good either. I mean, look at that N. So, sorry to make this video so long, guys. I just want you to take a look at this before we do this final send-off, and take a look and see what you think. Let's get on to the gold. Right, here's the 1915 gold, and this one does have a little bit of hairlines on it. You know, you see a lot of these come back where this, you know, these coins were cleaned. And this one I don't think is going to be any different. Ultimately, we just want to get this one sent off, graded and authenticated that it is gold. There's nothing wrong with it, and at least it's just a genuine gold piece. We are okay that it does come back cleaned, and it does appear that there's a lot of fine hairline scratches on this one, so we do think that this one will come back cleaned as well, especially around to the upper left there of the date. in front of that face there. Try to get some angles here so you can kind of pick those up like we're looking at here. All those like fine like little hairline scratches. Back of the coin. I really like these coins though. These 2.5 gold or any of the Indian gold pieces are probably one of my favorite gold pieces altogether. Now that I didn't notice before. Look at in front of the pluribus. It's got looks like it's got a little bit of damage on that coin, so that's a little interesting right there. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually send that back as damage. But look at those, all those like little fine hairline scratches all through there. That's what makes me think that that coin's going to come back as cleaned. But again, we're okay with that. We just want to get this one authenticated. Hopefully it doesn't come back damaged, but overall just want it to be a gold coin. Lastly, we'll jump into that $5 gold piece. Now we think this one's going to come back in a mint state, probably like a 62, 61. If it comes back in AU like 55, I'll be quite surprised. But this is a really nice gold piece. 1885. I think it looks really good. This is why I like sending these coins off to NGC, because I like the white surrounding on it. And this is just in like a little solid holder that just says $5 gold on it. So we really think that this one's gonna come back and grade nicely. Let's look at the back of the coin really fast here. Doesn't appear to have really ever been cleaned. Now I'm picking up a little bit of stuff there underneath the wing, so something going on there. So hopefully that doesn't come back like that. But I don't know. Everything on that appears to be rather nice. So let's try to cover up some of that. Put this down just a tad. Hopefully that'll come in a little bit better for you. Yeah, we think this one probably a 61, somewhere right in there. So what do you guys think about that one? So, well, anyways, here's the end of the pre-screening of the send-off. Again, I do have that $50 that we were talking back and forth, thinking whether or not that coin would grade. I'm going to send that one off as well. A lot of you had made some comments that you think it was cleaned as well, but that's okay. Let's just get these things sent off. Let's see what they come back at, and we'll do the unboxing when I get it back. Thanks for sticking around on this video, guys. Hey, and I also want to shout out to all my newest subscribers, all the subscribers that have been with me from the get-go. I appreciate all your support, appreciate the help. I've got a couple things getting set up here. Had a couple comments saying that some people want to send me some stuff, so I'm going to get that all set up so you guys can do that. I can throw all that information and links below. Again, just appreciate the support, appreciate you guys going through this with me, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.